What's up, Battle Camp? Ben Benaki here, doing the video that we've all been waiting for. And yes, if you're confused when you're looking at my screen as I'm logging in and you're noticing your other favorite YouTube channel player's account, that's correct. We're looking at Pearbomb's account. Matter of fact, I just got to do a hit on it, and I'll tell you what, 5 energies, and I believe we hit. I mean, we hit pretty hard. I might not even be able to see it because the news feed we're on. Versatile Elite, and these guys literally hit from beginning to end. So if you wanted to see what Versatile Elite's damage looks like, yeah, I can't even go back that far, but I'm pretty sure we hit somewhere around the 50 million, 55 million damage with 5 energies. Look at this team, man. This is just super stacked. I mean, 3 event ultra or epics, perfectly evolved. Of course, everything that Pearbomb has is 100% perfect evolution. And I'll tell you, if yours aren't perfect evolution, they're just not going to trade for as much, and people really don't want them unless they're perfect evolution. But looking at his inventory, man, look at all this stuff. And there's actually a folder in here, guys. If you go to his channel, actually, I hit it right out, number storage 13. This is the one. If you see all these monsters, these are all up for grabs. All you need to do is submit questions for the giveaway. And actually, to be honest, I think all those have already been submitted. So these are actually the monsters that will be given away after this video when we do his. So those were the rules, and I believe we have plenty of questions, so those should all be given away. And without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump right on into, as I have his account open so we can look at it, Pearbomb's Q&A. And I apologize for my charger popping off and on there. We will just move forward. So the questions you guys had for Pearbomb were, and I'm going to go in order from which way we like them. Who is your favorite monster to use, and how do you upgrade your monsters faster? So Pearbomb, give us what your opinion is on that. We'll kind of have a conversation on it.
Well, for the most part, I liked building my water reward ultra team, and I like the glitter cannon because my favorite color is gold, and I just thought the monster looked really sick when it was second evolved. And trying to get some R boost on it and whatnot. I think it's my last rate rogue one.
The one that's Rogue 8?
Yeah.
You got like 6 R boost on the attack, 6 R boost on the hit points, and 1 on recovery? Yeah, I got him up. So yeah, talk to us about him a little bit, man.
Yeah, I think that was one of my first reward ultra second evolves that I made in my videos. And I just thought it was really cool looking, even though it's not as powerful now because there's newer event ultras. I mean, newer reward ultras out there that have second evolves, and there's going to be more coming in next few weeks probably when they do the Easter update.
Yeah, that's really exciting, man. I know a lot of the even in our sub-troop Versus Elite 2, everybody's kind of going nuts on these new monsters. What's going to happen? And I think that's going to be a really fun topic for us to kind of discuss for the viewers later on. We've already got troop members. If you're into gaming, obviously know there's like a million terms for what you can call your group of people you're gaming with. But our troop members have been talking about this new merging thing. So be on the lookout for that. We're going to be covering it in detail, so don't worry. If it's confusing, between me and Pearbomb, we will figure out the exact details and how that works. But this mob is awesome. That was a great question. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next one. And this is probably my favorite one. I'm not even kidding you. And it says, and it's from Aline Hikaru, and it says, why do we like this game so much if we only win when we spend? So, Pearbomb, what's your answer to that?
I like it because you feel like you're constantly progressing and getting stronger and stronger. A lot of times you gotta spend to spin to get event rewards, event monsters to get better reward monsters. But it's just like an ongoing process, and it's kind of fun. It's really addicting.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's definitely really addicting, and I think you hit it on the head. I think the reason why we love these games so much is because the progression. When you feel like you're moving forward in something and it's happening at a pretty good pace, I feel like it's what in video games, that's what we look for. It's kind of what we've been trained on almost over the years, and but yeah, I think and I almost don't agree though that if we only win when we spend, because that's one of those things that me and you have talked about multiple times. As you know, I'm not much of a spender. I think total in the game I've got around $300 of my own money into it. I would say maybe a little bit more than that. And I mean, I'm not necessarily the best player in the game, but I mean, I can farm my own R Ultras, and I now have the ability to farm my own R Epics, which I feel like you don't have to necessarily spend to win. You might have to make a small investment to help your progress along, but again, I can refer back to a couple of my mentees alone that have started with that really have never put any money into the game and that are farming our altars as well. So I mean, you don't necessarily have to spend. That's kind of the point of my channel, and that's something that Pearbomb and I talk about all the time because we do play the game a little bit differently, and that there's no right or wrong way to play it. Spend a little, don't. Heck, man, I've wanted to buy that what's the one Pearbomb they're doing right now? It's like $20 and you get like 4 event spins and you get I don't know, like a super, an R, or I mean, an event super, and you get like a bunch of gold too. Isn't that's like, I think that's a pretty good deal. What do you think?
Yeah, I did one not too long ago on my main account for $20. I think I got like 3 event spins, maybe it was 5 or whatever, and I think I got I think it was 180 Ultra Essence or whatever, so I can craft 2
Right.
Epic Egg.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's important to get those slots, guys. And so if you're wondering, like, what does that mean? Like, he's talking about, like, one of the bonus items that you get was essence for crafting. So, like, it's super important, especially epic tiers. Epic monsters are harder to come by without making that investment. I think epics would probably be the hardest monster without putting money in to obtain. It's not as hard to get ultras without spending, but getting epics is hard. And so that dust you use to create, sometimes we do it just to create a slot. So we could trade our perfect evolution ultras, maybe multiples of them to trade up into an R Ultra. And that's kind of how the trading scale works in this game, which is something else that I want to kind of spend a whole video or two with players, including Pearbomb, talking about trading because trading is really crucial in progression along with spending. I think there's a very good combination of everything. If and that really just all determines at the speed in which you can progress. So let me go ahead and move on to the next question. But that was a great question. Let's see. What's the most frustrating thing about this game?
Obviously, when you're spending a lot of gold on spins and don't really get anything good,
Yeah, I can agree with that.
nothing worth anything, any kind of trade value, and it's just stuff you're just gonna end up salvaging in the troop hall
Yeah.
for essence.
Do you know if there's any? Because I've not done any real heavy research on it. If there's like do they actually have like I'd say like disclosed or open to the public information about their drop rates? Because they always say like increased drop rates, and while we both know, I know you and I both know this, but not everybody knows this, that the drop rate's actually based on the monster itself. It's not like an increased amount of epics are going to be dropped. It's that if you get an epic, it's more likely to be that monster. Isn't that correct, or am I incorrect?
Um, I think it's increased a little bit, but when I did my couple $100 or so worth of spins in Dominion, I did get a few event epics, but their passes were all terrible,
Right, right.
and those were on the lucky grabs. But I've seen numerous people just do the regular event grabs, and they get good passives.
Yeah, I know it's weird because like the one time I've actually spun 2 event epics in my career in battle camp, and in doing so, one of those times was actually when my son, I have a 6-year-old son, picked up my phone and he said, "Dad, can I do this thing on your game?" And I said, "Sure." I didn't know. I'm thinking, there's nothing I have, no game I have that he could do anything that would maybe not, I wouldn't want him to do on it, right? And he goes, "Oh, Daddy, I got a rock guy," and I was like, "Oh no, he used my gold." I was like freaking out, and he actually did one lucky spin, and it was like within the first 15 minutes of the event happening, which is why he opened my phone, it popped up, "Hey, do you want to do this spin?" And he said, "Yeah." What got me an event epic, and it was that snipe bulwark, and it's from, I believe, the Exodon or whatever, the one that's been coming back over and over and over. I hate it. We just went through it like 2 events ago, right before Battle Royal. Is it Exodon? That's right.
Yeah, it's a different kind of event. It requires a bit of teamwork and constant farming to get a lot of specials to feed all the different parts of the like world boss. It was what it used to be called.
Yeah. So it's probably my least favorite event next to like Crystal Siege, uh, to be honest, which is really just a horrible thing to say, I guess. But I think like the fact that you have to spend like a full day of people like just spending just regen E for like all day long just to get it to where you can start hitting with multiple energy is just I just think it's a poor game design. I think Penny and another thing about these YouTube channels, man, I think it's an opportunity hopefully for them to take some feedback from what we have to say. And I think that's just a real bad way to start an event. Because it's really all it comes down to is just they want you to consume more. They want you to consume more things and more of your in-game stuff, so you have to spend more ultimately, and I just that bums me out. So, you know, I'm guessing you're going for red runes, by the way, right? Because I'm gonna go ahead and be poking through here on arena while we're talking, try to autopilot some attacks with your team.
Well,
So,
I
what's
think I should have regular energy regen, and you should be able to do another Dominion attack.
Oh yeah, we've got 5 minutes. Let's do that. Good call. We're gonna go over there right now. I think we have, like Pearbomb said, we should have some energy. So I want to show you guys. Look at this, 5 energy hit, man. And we're gonna look at me going for the rock tower. That wouldn't work. That's like habit. And also I got your water team on. So let's go ahead and put the right team on. These epics are amazing, man. They snipe at 10 energies. They're sniping for somewhere around 5 to 5.5 million damage. That's amazing. Like, you guys, one snipe does that much. That's insane. And so what we're doing at a 5 damage, my ultras would do what his epics are doing at 5 at 10 energy. So you'll see it's literally double. But let's go ahead and get this hit going. And Parabomb's not on hold. He's just listening as we're talking. But let's go ahead and ask another question. So I'm going to ask a question, seeing me on multitasking. So we've had the favorite monster. That's a good one. But what's your favorite moment? What do you think your best moment in battle camp was? Where maybe it was a clicking moment, maybe it was an achievement you had, or what was it? What was it that made you just go, "Dang, this is the game. I got to keep playing this."
I think it was probably when I first got invited to Versatile Elite during the Wrath of Fawn event. It was forever ago, and it was my first ever reward super tier that I ever achieved in the game. I think I evolved a couple supers during the event, whatever, event supers during the event, and I still have those on a second. I have all those monsters still on a second account that's been stacking energy, hoping that they will be used again in a Coliseum event, but I don't know if Coliseum will ever make it back in the game as it should.
I hope it does. Actually, it was one of the other questions I was going to answer later on, but somebody was saying, "What's one of your favorite events?" And I think Coliseum was so cool because they brought back all those old monsters that people have had sitting in their inventory. And guys, look at this: 56 million damage. We hit for 5 energies, doubling our trophies because Versatile Elite's, of course, a top 10 troop. So the likelihood of us not having the majority of the towers locked down, pretty slim to none. We got 5 water specials for hitting. If you hit with multiple energies on this event, you have a chance, actually any amount of energy, of getting a special. And because we're hitting the water tower, we get water specials. Pretty cool. So just to show you, that's amazing. Look how hard this team hits. And we have 3 event epics. So if you're wondering how people climb in trophies, it's because of their epics or their ultras or their super event teams that have bonuses. Notice on this Venicicle, it is a snipe in lethal 5, 2,700% water damage bonus. What does that mean? 2,700%. Where is that coming from? I want to make sure I'm clear on this. That's why I keep hitting this subject when we talk about it. 2,700% multiplier is done on 1,663 damage. It is not multiplied on top of the 1,756 we're getting from lethal 5, which is 87% of the total attacks. You see, it's only off the base attack, and then so what it is it's 1663, and it's 27%, 100% of that, and it deals 800% in a snipe. That's how you get that multiplied damage. It does multiply after what your attack is, your active ability. It is not affected by your passive ability, but that is as strong as you get, 2,700%. And epics like this can compete with legendaries that are boosted in events because they just hit the hardest currently. But anyway, not to ramble too long, we've got more questions for Pearbomb, our celebrity on our channel today. And we have, where do you see yourself in the next year will you still be doing YouTube and Battle Camp?
Yeah. I hopefully will still be doing both, and I'm hoping with my team will be a full reward epic second evolve. But still very tough to even trade epics reward epics on BC rank, which is the great trading site for the game.
Right.
Just because so many people want like specific epics, and
Yeah,
if you don't have what they're looking for, you're not going to be able to get what you want.
unless you overpay. And then it's funny you say that. I had to do that. I just got another Ultra for CS, and I wanted to try to get it evolved, but I know using the Ultra has a higher advantage than like a Super, so I was going to swap it out. And the problem is, I know you don't have to have Zodiac matching, but eventually you want that because it is an advantage over the exact team. Let's say somebody else has this team, Vensicles and two Ultras, three Epics and two Ultras, but you have non-Zodiac matching and they do. The Zodiac matching is always going to do more damage, assuming you had the same amount of combos and technicality. I guess it's not going to do the same amount of damage, but I'd like to think if they had the same team and do the same exact combos, it would do a slight amount more damage, giving that edge. But again, that's kind of why it doesn't matter so much. But I also want to use that team as my Leaf team eventually, so I made sure that the passives were like T1, so it wasn't something I was going to be replacing. So I guess that was really probably an ambitious and maybe foolish decision to make my Crystal Siege team the one I actually cared about the passives because it's so expensive. It was probably dumb, but I'm doing it. I'm already in, so whatever. And with that trade, I had to give a lethal snipe Gemini perfectly evolved Ultra for a rogue version in my Zodiac, but I had to give up a event epic for a basic spin epic that was from an old event that'll probably just be used for Arboost. So I basically gave away Arboost points to do a Zodiac swap, and that's what it cost, and that really stinks because it's battle camp. I mean, people are trying to get advantage and move forward, and I get it. Me and Pearbomb, I think both you and I can agree. We've been there in that trade grind when you first start out, and you're like, "Dang, I'm just trying to get supers, man. Like, I'm just trying to get anything that I can trade for something that's either R or has an E on it because they seem stronger in BC rank." And it sucks that people are the only way they can do it is to just try to uptrade and uptrade and uptrade. It's one technique, but really, what do you think about the energy saving people? Like that's kind of what I do. I'm an energy saver. What do you think about like once you have an event team in place? Is energy saving efficient? Do you think it's too slow? Do you think what's your opinion on the event saving? Like through PvP and whatnot, just farming.
Well, I personally have 3 accounts total, and 2 accounts are just saving energy. One of them's got my Coliseum team on it, and it has over 2,000 energy. And another account has enough. It's got the 3 epic slots and 2 ultra slots, so I can transfer my Dominion team onto it if I wanted. If I ever decide to use that with all the stacked energy on that to make like another epic tier run.
Right.
And I currently have a little over 1,000 energy on that, but I'm thinking I probably gotta keep stacking energy for like another year or two in order to have a good
Epic
tier
run.
run on it.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at, man. I really want to go ham on all this Dominion stuff, but at the end of the day, I mean, I got to be realistic. I need about 2,000 energy to even entertain one, or maybe, if I'm lucky, two event epics, or reward epics, rather. And to be honest, if I got those reward epics, I think I would probably have to try to trade them for event epics because I don't have any yet. I mean, so it's kind of cool because like you and I are in different places in the game, and I try to decipher that for my players because I think a lot of them think we're kind of similar. And realistically, you're actually about 6 months ahead of me of grind time. If I were to calculate what it would take for me to achieve the power rating you have on just your main teams, that's not including the additional team that you just finished, your Leaf team, the full reward team that you have. So you have like quite a bit more progression than me. And I want people to understand, even though when you get into higher power rating, the higher power rating you get, like, for example, the highest I've been is like 617,000. I think your highest power rating, let's take a look, is 667, right? The gap from 617 to 667 is astronomical. I mean, we're talking like
Technically 643.
what's that?
Your highest power rating is actually 643.
Oh, that doesn't count. I kind of fudged it. I was messing around to see how high I could go with like defense mobs, but that's not real. Like 617 is the highest I've been, and that was
Load of
before I
fun.
screwed a reroll up. So,
And I recently did mine. Mine was my highest power rating was with my water team, with all of my equipment equipped and repaired. But
ah,
then this past week when we were doing Lost Temple, we were on the rock crystal, and I was using my leaf team. But I took my water crush and replaced my snipe 4 rogue 4 with my water crush, and that set the new high bar for my power rating on it.
nice, very nice. Yeah, and it's impressive, man. But I think like for me and you, we look at like there's the girl D, D, right? And we're gonna be doing a player profile on her as well, asking her some questions. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And when we look at hers, actually, I'll go ahead and you know what, I'm not gonna bounce into it because I don't want to know where in the line conversation it's at. So I don't want to do that now. I'll show it later when we interview her. She's got a full epic Sivo team, or I think some of them are perfectly evolved, and maybe like one or two of them are Sivo'd. And she's at somewhere around 800,000, like 700, 800,000. And to think, like that 100,000 gap between your power rating, my power rating, and hers is it's literally a shift in slots. It's going from ultra to epic. Unless you were to just spend time, which I personally on my water team, I plan on R boosting it out. Even though it's only ultra, like an R boost goes a really long way on pretty much any mob. Obviously, you just have like a base gap difference later on. So I think it's totally possible if you R boosted your water team or leaf team to actually break 900,000 PR if you had them fully boosted. But that takes a long time too, and a lot of.
And it's also risky to R boost reward ultras, because if you want to go to progress into epic tier, if you were to eat your ultras, you only got a 40% chance that your R boost points will transfer over to the epic.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I did that with when they do those U grabs that you can get those expired event monsters at. Sometimes they're like haven't happened event monster things. And I use those sometimes. I'll be like, yeah, like 5 or 10. Let's just see if I get something. And I got this like crappy event ultra, like terrible passive and active. And I was like, let me try to eat it for R boost points. And I thought it was for 40 R boost points, but it was 40% because I've never tried to feed an ultra, and I was like, and it failed, and I was like, no, I just ate an event ultra slot for nothing. Like I could have traded that for something. But it is what it is. You live and you learn. So yeah, let me ask you this. This will be my final one, and then we're gonna have to switch roles and flip flop, and you're gonna have to be doing my interview for your channel. So my final question for you is gonna be off of, let's see, I gotta go back up here. There was another question I wanted. Oh, here it is. Yes, I had to make sure I got this one because I commented on it. Which event is best to make a team for? Crystal Siege, Dominion, Exodon, etc.? Question mark.
For beginners, I would probably suggest a 10-day raid event. But in order to be able to do that good during the event, you need to prepare for it.
Right.
By stacking up a bunch of max specials of a certain element in hopes that that element will be used in a 10-day raid event, and you'll already have the specials all maxed out and ready to start evolving monsters immediately. So, like, if you were to do a few spins, get a couple supers, then you got event tokens. You can trade them to the event trader guy and get some feeder supers, and then you can use those to evolve the ones that you spun up. And you can build a quick team during the event, and you can do pretty well. That's what I did, and during the Wrath of Fawn event when I got my first super tier, which really sucked me into the game. So that's probably the best bet.
I would agree with you, actually. Matter of fact, I hardly ever think of, if I were new, what would I be doing right now? How would I start this game over, right? And true, that's probably the best advice. If you're new and you're like, hey, I've been playing this game for like maybe a month. I'm at like, I don't know, less than 100,000 power rating. I like it. It's fun. I'm thinking about getting into it a little bit further. Maybe I want to do some event spins. I don't know where you're at in the game. If that's where you're at, Pearbomb is exactly right. Get on one of those 10-day event, like exactly when this event's over and we roll into one of those. That's what you should be doing because it only takes 1 to 2 good spins to get an event ultra, maybe an event epic that will carry you through that event and earn you supers that will eventually help you earn more in-game content. So benchmarks are huge to think about because once you get a couple different event teams, one thing Pearbomb's done, and I can tell you why he's done it. Notice he has like multiple event teams. If he plays Battle Royale and he just feels like sitting low, he can either pair himself off from the troop and play in his own troop. He could just sit back and say, I'm just playing with Regen E and actually rack up the first like 15 to 20 benchmarks and save them in your inventory. And I mean, you guys see it on his all the time. I'll go ahead and show you in his inbox. I'm actually surprised there's only 42 gifts in here. It's usually like 193 million gifts, 350,000, something like that, right, Pearbomb?
Well, the game only allows you to have like 40 gifts, then it'll like automatically accept them when you get a new one put into your gifts. So I
Right.
try and stay in that range. Usually I'll accept a special or a crystal here and there or something.
Yeah, I find myself doing the same thing, and obviously I have much less bag space. I haven't invested. I plan on it. There will be a time I will invest and get more bag space. But for now, I only have 3 in mine, and having an additional 10 is probably amazing to be able to manage and do that and just save up, I guess, like 5 times specials and stuff like that. Pretty awesome setup, man. I've always been impressed with the way that you handle your inventory. I think that's one of my favorite parts about your videos, just seeing how crazy it is just to look and go, wow, this guy's literally put so much thought and effort into so many different teams. And it's funny because actually I'm looking at your Snipe Rogue Phantasm, and this is a special mob, man, because I remember back when I first got into Versatile Elite, we were doing Lost Temple, and I think you had this monster, the Snipe Plus Rogue Phantasm. It wasn't a Phantasm though; it was the PE Super, not the Sevo. And I gave you my feeder. You remember that?
Yeah.
A long time ago, and you mentioned me on your YouTube channel. Like, thanks Ben Benaki for doing that. And I remember, dude, that was like the moment I was like, oh my god, dude. He mentioned me on his YouTube channel. I'm forever changed. I want to do this now. I was like obsessed with it. Like, this is so crazy. He's doing this, and I want to do this too. And so it's kind of funny to see that monster in your inventory because that's where it all started for me. So very cool, man. Well, I appreciate your time and for you taking the time to talk with me and answer some of my viewers' questions. Of course, I'm going to return that favor. And all I got to say is I really appreciate what you've done to the game. Your videos are awesome. They're so insightful. They give us a lot of information on how to properly maintain, how to hit hard, how to earn trophies. I mean, you kind of hit everything. So I'm excited to be doing these YouTube videos with you side by side. And is there anything else you want to leave for my viewers before we disconnect?
No, just subscribe to both of our channels and help spread the word on hopefully being able to grow our channels. I mean, there was previous Battle Camp YouTubers in the past before us that had probably a couple thousand subscribers.
Yeah, and they'd
They
get up
followed right
to
up.
30,000, I think like 20 or 30,000 views that some of those guys used to get, back when
Yeah,
it
I
first
started
came
out
out.
watching Bush Hog and Pooh Biscuits and stuff like that, and they stopped making videos forever ago.
Yeah, it's been like
Some
a
of
year
Bush
and a
Hog's
half.
videos are really sick.
Yeah. It's really cool. We're trying to build it back up, guys. That's the goal. Me and Pearbomb, we've got the time. We're going to invest and we're going to try to make the channels the content that you're looking for. And if you have feedback for us, as you notice, we always respond to your questions, your comments. You know how to reach us in game. You guys know how to reach us through Battle Camp. So just, reach out. And also, I wanted to point this out. We have a new line channel for battle camps. So for some of you guys who have more immediate questions and stuff, we may be opening up this line chat for you guys to be able to just, when you have a question, to just reach out through that as well. So if that's something you're interested, comment, say, hey, the line thing sounds good. We'd like to be able to talk to you guys a little more one-on-one than just through YouTube and that type of social media. So let us know. But other than that, guys, thanks so much for your time. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do so. And also check out Pearbomb's channel. Be on the lookout. We're probably going to record this right after this, and we're going to be busting his out too. So look forward to those channels and those giveaways. And guys, again, remember when we get to 200 subscribers on my channel, we're giving away an R Ultra. And also... We're going to do a follow-up video by the end of Dominion to give away that, as well as this super. For Dominion. Oh, I'm not on my account, so I can't show you. You guys know which one, the Wisp. We're going to be giving that away too. So, guys, enjoy. Have a great weekend, and we'll be doing some more Battle Camp this weekend.